Alright guys, well I'm back today with an overview of my battle belt setup for late 2024 and early 2025. Some may also call this a duty belt setup, but we're going to be talking about the holster system, the belt, and all of the accessories and add-ons that I've put, and that's really evolved over the past 8 years that I've been doing this on YouTube. Now I don't wear this in any professional capacity as a law enforcement officer, but I do wear this a lot down at the range for testing and evaluating equipment, as well as checking on the land. Collectively, between me and my in-laws, we have about 144 acres, so throwing something on like this to check the property lines or when you're out and about walking is pretty cool to have. Occasionally, we may run into some issues down on our land. Now, with that being said, let's start off by talking about the holster I selected, which is actually the newest piece of kit that I've had added on to this in the last year, and I've selected the Safariland holster system with the QLS attachment method. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the QLS attachment method, it's a great option to buy one holster and then swap it between belt to belt, different belt accessories, or even paddle holster accessories without spending a ton of money on holsters. You buy the one that fits your gun, and this is the one I chose that fits the Glock 17 1934, and it's the Gen 5 light and optic compatible, made in the USA. Love the QLS system. I wanted something with active retention. That way somebody couldn't just come up and grab my gun out of my holster. If you're wearing something like this, you're going to draw attention, and you may have that person just run up and try to grab it. Well, this locking system works out great. It's very hard to access from the outside if somebody was fighting for your gun, but it's insanely easy to utilize when you have the gun on your belt. It also has this protective flap that protects the optic itself, and I've got a buddy of mine who actually carries one on duty every day, and the biggest problem with his optic is it fills with dirt, dirt, debris, lint, stuff like that. So having something that can cover that optic is going to give you just that advantage. Now, it's also really nice because this slides out of the way. You'll see it move out of the way and then snap back into place, and when you're holstering, it actually moves back out of the way. So you don't have to mess with this at all, but you can flip it out for training so you don't rub that on your optic while you're practicing, and then shut it back for when you're on duty. So love the Safariland holster. And inside the holster itself, I personally chose the Glock 47. If you want to hear why, I've got a full review. I also personally chose a Holosun. If you want to hear why, I've got full reviews. And I also chose the TLR1. You know the drill. Now, this whole setup, I absolutely trust my life to. And I've had about 3 or 4 TLRs on different setups and 2 or 3 of the new HLs without any issues whatsoever. Again, check out my channel for those full reviews. Now let's move on to the belt portion of this video. The belt is a Core Essentials belt that Core Essentials sent out about 2 years ago for me to review, and it instantly became my go-to belt setup. And here's why. It is insanely versatile, well-balanced, and really well-built. The other cool thing about this belt is it's got a ratcheting system, which is micro-adjustable in the belt buckle itself. You can hear it kind of ratchet into place. So if you ate a big meal that day, unclip it a few, and you don't have to remove your entire belt and adjust different belt buckle sizes. You simply just do that. Or it's wintertime and you're wearing thicker pants, again, loosen it up. Or it's summertime and you're wearing very thin, active pants, tighten it up a little bit without completely taking everything apart and adjusting belt buckles. Super simple to use, and this belt has 20-pound capacity. It distributes the weight amazing. It also has an inner Velcro belt that goes through your belt loop to hold up your pants, and then this wraps around and ratchets into place. What an amazing system. This isn't cheap though. It retails generally for around $40. There are applicable discounts. Definitely check the description below for more info on that Core micro battle belt ratcheting system. I also like the belts because you can loop everything around with a lot of these standard industry clips at 1.75 inches, or you can actually run through the MOLLE attachments like you see right here with the IFAC, so you have a lot of versatility out of the belt itself. Now let's talk about some of the different pouches that we've got the Core Essentials belt out of the way. Now, some of these pouches I've been using well over 8 or 9 years, and these are some of the ones that I originally started with, which is Wilder Tactical. Now, Wilder Tactical is a great company. Really love the guys working over there, but honestly haven't talked to them in about 6 years. Probably need to change that. Just, you know, you forget things. You just start putting this piece on your kit, and it works out great. Right beside my gun is my flashlight. Now, that's placed there for a very specific reason. I want my dominant hand to go to my gun, or honestly, 9 times out of 10, I'm grabbing my flashlight as the first thing out of my belt, so I want my dominant hand to go to that. Now, this is actually a mag pouch from Wilder Tactical, but it fits the flat flashlights perfectly, and a lot of guys have been asking me on my 704 Gear channel why I've been going to flat flashlights. They just carry better, and the Nightcore flashlights are insane. If you want full videos on these, definitely check it out, but I love them because you can instantly click into your last remembered mode, and then you can cycle through the modes, or you can actually long press that right there, and now we're actually in a lockout mode right now. But you can go into the turbo mode, and you can get blinding turbo, or you can do a defensive strobe. So I love that right there. We'll have to get that out of lockout mode in a second. But for storage, I like to put this in lockout mode. But then the clip faces out. It slides right in, super flat, carries really nice. Nightcore is a great rechargeable USB-C flashlight. And there are so many different options like the EDC 25, 23, 27, and 29. Definitely check them out on the other channel. Now, moving to the back of the belt, you're going to see this right here. This is the Tacticon Mini IFAC. And this is slick because it's a bungee pouch on the back, and you can actually pull this out either way, and it's very accessible if you put it right behind you. Then after that, you can open it up. I've got a tourniquet, gauze, and a few other things in there. And it's just a great little IFAC pouch. Super simple to use. Now for me though, if you're going to be using this and you're going to be driving a car and you're going to be sitting in a car for like truly a professional law enforcement role, I would figure out a different place to put your med kit. Either in your car and keep a tourniquet maybe somewhere around here, because this is just annoying to sit with in the back. Now, if I'm riding the side-by-side down to the land and I'm only going to be on it for 5-10 minutes, not a big deal. But if I'm spending hours in a car, I'm not killing my back and spine by putting this here. I don't ride in this car with this. Like when I'm going down to the land, it's a 30-second to 5-minute drive depending on where I'm going, and then I'm walking the rest of the time, then I'm driving back. So that doesn't bother me. But here's the other option. If you are going to be driving, you got this set up, just pop it out. This squishes flat, then put it back in when you get to where you go. So something to consider there. Oh, bumped the camera. Sorry about that, guys. Moving along to this side of the belt, you will see the 2 mag pouches. These are from Bravo Concealment. They work out great. G19, G17 mags. And then you also have the knife. Now, I want to talk about the mag pouches and their location. They're very close to that belt buckle, and they ride right in front, and those are for those defensive reloads. A lot of times, I'll put an AR mag pouch here, but that's not what this belt is about. When I'm checking on the land, I just want something all-encompassing, grab and go, and I do have other belts with AR mags on there that we'll talk about later, but that's the great thing, again, about that QLS system from Safariland. I don't have to buy a new holster for that belt. I can swap out that gun to the other belt. I'm running an F and Grow knife, mid-size EDC, DC53 steel, micarta handles, and it locks up right in here really good, and it utilizes those clip systems that tension up perfectly on this belt. I did just come out with my own fixed blade knife. It's a little bit large for a full-size battle belt. We're looking to come out with a smaller model in the future, so in the meantime, I'm running the F and Grow. It works out great. And it looks like it's backwards on here, but in reality, this is wrapped around my body. I'm going to come down. I'm going to pull this knife out. So if somebody is fighting for your gun, or you have your gun in your other hand, or you're in a tussle, when you pull out, the blade is facing out. You can pop a car tire. You can do whatever you need to do. I love the way that positions in there, and I love the retention on that F and Grow. The mag pouches, like we already talked about, are up here. That's about the entire setup of this battle belt and duty belt. I try not to overly add things that I didn't need, and the things that I need most: light, gun with a light, knife, spare mags, meds. 5 things. You can add dump pouches, you can add chem sticks, you can add this, that, and the other, but this is kind of like the essentials, and I've whittled down everything to the essentials because it's easy to understand, they work, and it works out well. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What did I miss? What do you like to add? What do you not like to add? And I want to hear your thoughts about that Safariland system and what sidearm you're putting in your battle belt. Thanks for watching, guys. All of the information, if possible, will be in the description below. Have a good one.